everybody. Welcome to a new episode of Sub-Auteurs. We are alive!
Alive! It's only been, 3 months since we did this last?
I don't know. I'm so sorry. I've been so busy. I'm barely alive though. But hey, my name's Mai.
I'm Misha. We are the Sub-Auteurs, and we are here because we like movies. And this week, I guess, we have a doozy to discuss. Thanks to our friends at Paramount Pictures.
Doozy, I would say, because I did check my stress levels on my smartwatch after watching this, and it was like, oh, that is not normal.
We are, of course, going to be talking about A Quiet Place Day 1, which is a prequel to A Quiet Place.
Yes, obviously. Obviously, but
I am so sorry.
But I mean, what else is there to say about the title? It is a prequel, and basically it talks about how the whole alien invasion happens. And if you are indeed familiar with the first two films, it is about, aliens coming to Earth and they attack people when they make noise. It's like what attracts
basically they
them.
have really good hearing and you're screwed in case you make any noise.
Yep.
The first two movies were directed by John Krasinski of The Office.
Yes.
And I greatly enjoyed those, honestly, because they are great exercises in horror without having to rely on too much CGI or VFX to show the monster. It's more the idea of the monster that's scarier than anything else.
Yep. And what really drew me onto the first film was its simplicity, but its effectiveness. And the sound design was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Because obviously, for a film like this, where nobody talks, and it's basically silence, unless, little creaks and stuff, which people try to avoid any kind of noise at all, but it's still so atmospheric that it really contributed to the entire horror movie feel of it. Well, it is a horror movie essentially, but yeah, and Emily Blunt was amazing. And
She was.
It was just so effective. And I was so surprised at John Krasinski being able to direct such a film. And I do believe the story was also, he was also behind the story.
Yes, he helped co-write it. And the original two films were about this family that was trying to survive essentially in the countryside away from the big city. And that's the main difference with this new film, which has pretty much none of the characters from the previous movies. And it is set in, we are told early on, we were told before the screening, there was before the actual movie started, there was a little video greeting from Lupita Nyong'o and Joseph Quinn, where they welcomed us to the show. And they said that you're about to watch what happens when one of the world's noisiest cities goes quiet. And it was eerie, I'm not going to lie. I mean, if you've been to New York, it is insane to see that place dead quiet.
Yep. It is almost unimaginable, but and Lupita also had like a hat with cat ears.
She did have a hat with cat ears.
And it actually was a plant and payoff to something we will discuss later. But I just realized it now that when you mentioned it, it had something to do with the movie and it was not just a random styling choice.
I did not realize that until just now. Thank you very much.
Yes. But yes, that's where it's set, New York City. Obviously, when these aliens attack, it's going to be chaos. Not just because of the sheer noise of the city, but the amount of destruction that happens. Of course, tall buildings, cars, so many people. Obviously, it's going to be a very difficult situation for whoever is in it. And Lupita Nyong'o is the lead character here. She's a terminally ill woman who lives at a hospice, and she is in constant pain. She's just living day by day. She has her little service animal, which is a cat. An adorable cat named Frodo. And yeah, she basically yes, Frodo is adorable and also annoying, but we'll get to that later. But she's basically living day by day. And, the guy her friend at the hospice says that, hey, let's go watch a play. Let's go watch a show. And her being just like, whatever, I just want pizza. With a mindset of just wanting to have that delicious slice of pizza because you never know when you're gonna go. She was
I
told
can't
like
argue with that. I support the pizza.
exactly because she's way past the time that her doctors would say that she would live. So she's like, anytime now, might as well have that slice of pizza that I want. So her friend from the hospice convinces her to go along with the rest of the old people to watch a creepy ass puppet show. But at the end of the day, she just wants pizza afterwards. But as soon as the show is over and she goes on to look for pizza, her friend, who is played by Alex Wolff, his name's Ruben, by the way. He's that guy in Hereditary. I did not recognize.
Yes. And he's like the nurse here, right?
Yes, he is.
He's a nurse from her hospice.
Yes, but he considers himself as her friend. And he suddenly says that, no, we have to go. We can't have pizza. Something's happening in the city and we gotta, bounce. And she's like, no, I'm getting pizza. Fuck that. But yes, that's of course, obviously when the aliens start attacking and people are screaming and there's debris everywhere and chaos ensues.
So did you like it?
Well, it's hard to compare because a lot of people I talk to about this afterwards who've seen it are like, nothing beats the first one.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
For sure. It is unbeatable. But this was interesting because it was at a bigger scale. Obviously, mas may budget na sila. And
that's true.
I wouldn't say the stakes are higher because it is still pretty high stakes no matter where you look at it. Depending, doesn't matter if it's set in the city or in a countryside. It's just a lot more going on, a whole lot fucking more going on.
I think it makes a big difference with regards to exactly what you said. I mean, the first one, nothing's going to top that for sure. Mm-hmm. But a lot of that comes from the fact that, horror, like comedy, relies on the unexpected. By this point, it's the third movie in the franchise. Yeah. We know exactly what these aliens are all about. In fact, the only new information I got here was, no, there was no new information. I mean, we already know they can't swim. So, I mean, I think what made it fresh was Lupita's performance and the cat. The cat, because that gave us new things to care about.
If anything, we cared the most about the cat.
If we didn't have Lupita and if we didn't have the cat, it would just be another Quiet Place movie, honestly.
I remember telling you, like, at the start of the screening, when we did see a cat, I was like, if the cat fucking dies, I'm going to lose it. This is like one of those situations where you cry more for the animals than the humans. That's just
absolutely.
That's just how we
are.
Yeah,
I mean, for us, the horror at this point didn't come so much from, oh my God, what are these creatures and what are they about? It's more like, holy shit, we know what they can do. We don't want the cat going out there.
And like, holy shit, how are they going to get through this? Like, New York is fucking noisy.
That is true. That is true. And I like that they were able to play with some of the sights and sounds of the city with regards to how you would hide from these aliens. Like when she takes shelter, for example, under a fountain with these two kids who look like the kid from Hereditary split into two. Those two little boys, they both look like...
The other one was a girl, Misha.
I rest my case. So, I'm so sorry. Holy hell.
But either way, yeah.
I thought they were boys.
The other one was a girl. The
you tell me this now?
Anyway,
okay,
doesn't matter.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. I don't know if they die anyway. You see them for like 5 minutes, but they're not that important. But
I
yeah,
respect.
So creative. Like especially at the times when it's raining. And, they have to, when they are actually able to speak, there's a lot more speaking in this one for some reason. They're able to speak like under, basta, mas mahinang decibels. Decibels! Like, basta lower than the rain or whatever, like, main sound is going on, diba? So, also that scene where they tried to kick down a door from her apartment because she didn't have the keys, but sinabay nila sa lightning and thunder.
That's right.
That was pretty creative. So, yeah, those moments, I guess. But Yeah, there is a new piece of information which I will get to later when we talk about the things we didn't like. But yun na nga, new information na nga di pa natin nagustuhan or di natin na-gets. But anyway, what else did you like about it?
What did I like about it? I liked there were a couple of set pieces that we haven't seen before by virtue of just the change in setting.
Mhm.
Like, for example, when they go down into the subway, that's something we haven't seen before because
the
previously...
subway. Don't remind me. That was disgusting.
Holy hell. Okay, look at it this way. The New York subway system is disgusting. Even without the aliens, you wouldn't want to go down there. I'm pretty sure that the only reason that there weren't more aliens down the subway was just that they didn't like the smell of the piss covering everything.
Yep. But it comes to a point that the subway is flooded.
Mhm.
And they have to wade through that disgusting trash, rat piss water.
Okay, you choose. You're going to go swimming with rats or you're going to go deal with the alien. What are you going to do?
I would not even survive the first 5 minutes because number one, after all the destruction has happened, all the debris and things falling apart, I have allergic rhinitis. And my sneeze would just be the end of me. I swear. I wouldn't even attempt to think about how I'm gonna survive because I just know that one sneeze and I'm dead.
Remind me not to hide with you when the sound aliens come over.
I know. I'd just be like, okay, I give up. Whatever, take me. I'll just probably yell something cool before I die. I don't know what that is yet, but anyway. How about you?
I liked no, me, if I was gonna survive that, no, hell no. I don't think I would. Keeping quiet is not one of my strong strengths. It's not one of my strengths at all.
That's why we have a podcast.
We'd have to do this in sign language if aliens attacked.
Oh my goodness. But
something that's cool, because I never got to see the first two Quiet Place movies in the cinema.
What?
As Deng will readily tell you.
What?
I infamously canceled on her when we were supposed to see the first one in 2018 because I was stuck in the office or whatever. And that was a whole thing. But the way she told me was like, the entire cinema was quiet. People wouldn't even eat their popcorn or their chips because nobody could breathe.
Yep.
And I finally got a taste of that yesterday with day one because there we were. We were in the IMAX. We were dead center. Thanks, Flash Antonio. But
Hi, Flash. Thank you.
We were on the edge of our seats. We were trying to be quieter than the people on the screen.
Exactly.
And it was stressful.
It was stressful because even you are just trying to be quiet, hold your breath. I'm glad I finished my popcorn before chaos ensued because I just wanted to eat all the popcorn.
Do you ever do that thing? Like whenever characters in a movie have to go underwater, you hold your breath with them just to see if you would survive it?
No.
Oh, I do. But yeah, in this case, that was my equivalent. That was the same thing yesterday with everybody trying to be quiet, I think.
Yeah, I get the feeling with this one because it's there, like everything's so quiet on screen. So parang kung magsalita ka or if you do something, you'll obviously be heard by everyone. So nakakahiya din. It's gonna be embarrassing.
That is true.
Same experience with the first one. I watched it in the cinemas, and my God, you could hear a pin drop. That's how quiet everyone was in the cinema. But there are moments where people would be like let out a really loud sigh. It's like they've been holding their breath for a while. And I even found myself taking deeper breaths or quieter breaths because of it. So it's just that effective. And I guess kind of the same here, but obviously it was more intense with the first one.
I have kind of a thing with these aliens, right? They operate purely on sound.
Yep.
So does that mean they're effectively blind and stupid? I mean, they're just bumping into walls, they're bumping into trees because those things aren't making sounds.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they function like bats in the dark.
Then they would know that there's a living, breathing person in front of them.
Sabagay.
right? But it's got the same. It's the same fallacy. It's the same fallacy. It's the same Achilles heel of the T-Rex from Jurassic Park, right? It's like it can only see you if you're moving. I'm like, but think about it. Like when you're texting in public, you always know, like if there's somebody looking over your shoulder, reading your screen, right? Even if you don't see them, you know they're there. Are you saying you have better senses than an alien or a T-Rex?
Suspension of disbelief, I guess. It's an alien. We don't know how they function.
Fine.
I guess that's just, I don't know if it's a loophole or if, ganun lang. Basta ganun eh.
I mean, it makes for an entertaining movie. It makes for an entertaining movie.
It does.
But
yeah.
I think, oh my God, my forehead is so shiny. What the actual hell? You could have warned me.
This is we started out doing these Zoom calls, recordings in 2020 when we started. We're just doing it again right now because it's just more convenient. But like now we can see ourselves.
Unfortunately.
So there, Misha got distracted by his own forehead. Just saying.
No, but since this is the third time that we're seeing these creatures, seeing this universe, it's not as shocking anymore.
Yeah.
Because we already know the beats. We already know the strengths, the weaknesses, the capabilities of these aliens and all. And I think what I said earlier about how a lot of horror is like comedy, it has to be unexpected to be really effective. That's why I really respect how what like for example James Cameron did with the second Alien movie. Mm-hmm. He knew he couldn't out horror Ridley Scott, and he knew it wouldn't be effective anyway. So he made the second movie a fucking war picture. He made it a war movie. He just changed genres basically. But with this one, I feel we're still solidly within the template established by the first one. I'm not saying it's a bad template. I'm just saying that I appreciated that they did enough new things here to justify the prequel. And a lot of that credit goes to Lupita. She's fantastic.
Yeah, you could tell like she's in constant pain throughout the entire thing. She was amazing. And her skin is beautiful.
Her skin is amazing. Her forehead's not shiny like mine. Like, what the shit? No, but I also like she's a completely different character from what we've had before because Krasinski and Emily Blunt and their noise-making children. It's true. Okay, they were like walking noisemakers.
That's just me going like, "Don't have kids, God damn it!"
They were a family unit trying to survive together, trying to survive for each other. Right? Mm-hmm. Like when Emily Blunt steps on that nail. Holy God! When she steps on that nail and on the staircase, she's keeping her mouth shut, not just for herself, but because she knows like her kids need her. Mm-hmm. And if she makes noise, then they're all screwed. They're all fucked. Mm-hmm. Here, Lupita, she has a singular, dedicated focus, which I am 10,000% behind because all she wanted was a slice of pizza from her favorite pizza place.
Patsy's. Well, I mean, I respect it. I mean, if she wasn't terminally ill, I would be like, what the fuck? What the fuck are you thinking? But yeah, given her situation, she's thinking, I'm gonna die any minute now anyway. Might as well do what I want. So I understand. And it's also so poetic in that moment where, people are trying to get to the safety, which is the harbor, where they're gonna be saved by boats, picked up by boats. Like you see this whole crowd walking in one direction and she is going the opposite direction. It's like, oh damn, this is a woman on a mission for a slice of fucking Patsy's pizza. And I respect it. What I don't respect is like the idea of like the people, medyo tanga yun, like they would all just like go in crowds. Na parang, how the fuck is not anyone going to make any sort of sound when you're walking in a huge crowd? And obviously it didn't work. So it was just dumb of people to like go in boards.
I don't think the army was helping either. They were like blasting loudspeakers from helicopters overhead. And every time they'd make an announcement to tell the people, stay quiet, stay together, stay indoors, or go to the South Harbor. We're going to pick you up. All the aliens would be like, noise. It was just, there must have been a quieter way to let the people know what to do. Because the army was just basically no help again.
Well, I thought about it this way. If it's a helicopter, although, was there a scene where the helicopter was crashed Like it got attacked. I think so. But anyway, that aside, I think it's also a way for whatever, let's say an alien's like right on your tail, right? You made a little bit of noise and it's going after you. But then you hear that thing and they just go away. They go towards the louder thing.
Okay, that makes sense. So like the army was drawing the attention of the aliens.
And since they're in helicopters, if they're at a high enough altitude, they won't be reached.
Right.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's lucky that the aliens are presented as animals. Imagine if they all spoke English. They would be lining up at the South Harbor for boats.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So we already established like Lupita is not a family person, not like Krasinski and Blunt. Okay, she's just got her cat Frodo. She just wants her slice of,
Frodo.
She just wants her slice of pizza. Again, respect. But this is not a journey that she's going to be undertaking alone. At some point, she meets up with a law student from England. He's played by Joseph Quinn from Stranger Things. Eddie, if you remember. He is a law student who is basically scared of everything. His name is Eric. And at first, Lupita wants nothing to do with him.
Yeah, she's like, leave me alone. Because for some reason, Frodo leads him to her. And then, she's like, stop following me. Like
that darn cat.
He's like, stop following me. And he's like, but I don't want to go alone. He has anxiety issues, obviously. Or he's just hella clingy. Either that or he's hella clingy.
I don't even know what this British kid was doing in New York studying law in the first place. I mean, it's not like he can use that law degree in the UK. I mean, their laws are completely different. But you know what would have been cool?
What?
If he did the same thing as Eddie from Stranger Things and distracted all the creatures with a wicked guitar solo. That would be fucking badass, Get some Metallica in here. Come on, aliens!
He's like the bookish type here. He's like,
and they set it up at the beginning with the puppet show. He could play Master of Puppets. There you go.
Oh my God, Master of What the fuck?
I've had way too much time to think about this.
Yes, you have. But yes, he follows her and she at first fucking hates it. He's kind of dragging her down. At some point when they're trying to survive that icky subway situation, he gives them away because he's having a panic attack in the middle of the sewers, which I get because it's like fucking disgusting. But yeah, he felt like a real dead weight at the start because he really did. And this woman just wants this moment to herself. She just found her own apartment. She just wants to rest, but you're there, you're like inviting yourself in.
Boundaries.
Yeah.
Is that not in your law?
But I guess we see a little bit of character improvement in him when they find themselves in sanctuary in a church. Wow, symbolic.
Poetic.
Yes. But Samira's meds, she's run out. So she needs a hella strong dose of fentanyl. And what he does, while she is being while she is feverish inside the church, he goes out trying to look for a drugstore and get her meds, which is kind of nice. It's kind of sweet.
I guess. But honestly, the cat had more personality. I really genuinely only cared for Lupita and the cat. Joseph Quinn's Eric he was just there.
Well, he did have that cute moment when they found themselves at that jazz place when they discovered that Patsy's has been burnt down. And of course, obviously, to the huge disappointment of Samira, they visit her second favorite place, which was a jazz club her and her dad used to go to. And he somehow finds her not Patsy's pizza, but he finds her a pizza, which is nice. He does a little magic trick, and they have this cute little moment of levity, which obviously we really need from a film like this.
Yeah, I guess. It's like Hermione and Harry dancing in the tent. When everything is gone, the world's gone to shit. You just need to blow off some steam. Yeah. I get it. So, okay, fine. So, Eric had a purpose. His purpose was entertainment. But
harsh. Way harsh. Well, to be fair, the cat couldn't have gotten that fentanyl by himself. itself.
Look, I don't even know how Eric got the fentanyl. That shit is strong. It should be under lock and key.
Yeah,
I don't know how he found it just rummaging around in the back of the pharmacy. But yeah,
I don't know. And
It's
all he
fine.
got was one fucking box.
I know. I mean, if you're there already,
Kaya dapat nag-hoard ka na.
unless he figured, you know what? She's not going to live past Tuesday.
Oh my
I only need
God.
one box.
Oh my God, that is so harsh. But yes, that fentanyl dosage, I did check afterwards. That was hella strong.
I see.
Like, she must be in a whole lot of pain.
No, but that's
Damn.
exactly why. You'd think it would be harder to get, rather than
that's
just
true.
going behind the counter. Something that's weird about Joseph Quinn in this one, because, first off, he looks completely different without his Eddie hair from Stranger
Eddie
Things. His
hair.
rocker, his metal head.
He's still curly though.
It's still curly, but if you look at him, he looks like Marshall from How I Met Your Mother had a baby with JGL. And it's weird because in certain light, he looks like young Robert Downey Jr.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just bizarre because in some shots, you're like, okay, he's kind of cute. And then in other shots, you're like, why did JGL have a baby with Marshall?
Wait, I'm still there where you said he's kind of cute.
Because young Robert Downey was cute, not him.
That's true. I don't know. I did not have thirst in this one, surprisingly. I was
Yeah,
just
there
too
was
damn
no
scared.
time. There was no thirst in this one, honestly. I mean, if there's anyone you want to grab and hug from this movie, it would be the cat.
Yes.
It'd be Frodo. The cat. The cat was the best. And can I just say, I think the cat was a little bit overweight.
Well, she did mention it that don't feed him too much. He's gonna get fat. And she did say it at the start, man, you're getting fat. Something like that. Oh, I miss my fat dog.
That's true.
I used to have a fat dog. But anyway, well, besides that, Robert Downey-ness aside, okay, whatever. I appreciate him anyway. He was annoying as fuck. He was annoying as fuck
very
for a
awkward.
time. Yeah. You know how she's having moments to herself and then you just see somebody walk by and then he's like, fuck, what are you doing here? I went out for a walk by myself. What a clinger. But yeah, oh well. Yeah,
You know what's funny? You know what's funny in that there was only two of them for the majority of the movie is that between the two of them, they had to live out all the disaster movie cliches. One of them is the guy who was preparing for his bright future. The other one is the one who would have been near death anyway. One of them is the idiot, who bumps into things when they really shouldn't and makes noise that results in an action sequence. Another one of them's got anxiety. Another one of them has to take charge. Except all those archetypes just mushed into two people.
Huh. I didn't think of it that way, but you have a point.
They had to divide all the cliches between the two of them.
Well, I guess it's fine. It turned out fine in this case, I guess.
But you know who I wanted to see more of? I wanted to see more of my guy, Jimon Honsu.
Oh! Actually, he sandwiched the movie. He was there at the very start before shit went down, and he's there at the end. That's
true. But the thing is, we knew already, because he's in the second movie, we knew that he has to survive this prequel because he's helping run that colony, that safe space in the second movie. But here, he's just another New Yorker who is trying to survive. And, yeah, you're right. We just see him at the beginning, we see him at the end. I wish he had a more active role in this one because we know Jimon Honsu, he's great in anything. He's in the MCU. He's in the DCU. He's in every freaking franchise. He's in the Fast and the Furious movies. Is there anything he can't do?
He's criminally underrated.
Yes.
It is a hate crime how he is not more popular. But he did have this very powerful moment though. At the start when shit went down and they're seeing that the bridges are being blown by the army, military, whatever. There's this guy who starts having a panic attack and wants to start yelling, "We're all gonna die! We're all gonna die!" So obviously he shouldn't. So Jimon has to shut this guy up. And unfortunately, he accidentally kills this guy because he just won't.
As you do.
He just won't calm his fucking tits. Oh my God, you're gonna get us all killed. But it was so heartbreaking for him that his son had to witness that. And I wish as well.
Was that his son? That was his son?
Yeah, the little kid that saw him kill the guy.
Oh, okay. I didn't want to assume. I just saw a little black kid. I didn't want to assume it was his.
He was at the theater with his kid when they were watching.
I thought he was with his wife. Wow,
and
I
the kid.
suck.
Yeah, yes, you do, Misha. He was with his wife.
Where were these people at the end of the movie?
The kid was still, I think the kid was in the boat. I don't know about the mom. But the kid was there. And yeah, and he, like, the kid was even like, oh, there's a little cat. And then he was like, no. Just, he was like telling his kid off. That was his kid. Misha, what were you doing?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Why did I didn't know it was his kid. I thought it was just like another survivor.
Then why would he be so affected by a random kid seeing him?
Holy fudge. Okay, yeah, you're right. No, because you don't want to commit homicide in front of a child.
I mean...
Do you?
No, but why would they put a random child to see? Anyway, that was his kid. So
Fine. I'm sorry.
So that was such a powerful moment, and I was hoping for something else to follow. Yeah, I wish that led to somewhere.
Yeah, I guess. I think something I really respect about the movie was, even if there's still way too much of the monster, I still think that they didn't go as far as they could with showing it like in broad daylight or showing a lot of gore. So there was still a little bit of restraint, which I respected. Like there was this one bit where there's this SUV, this red SUV.
I know what you're talking about.
In the background of a shot. And it's only later on when you realize, holy shit, that's a white SUV. It's just painted in people.
Yep. The back of the SUV is red, and then the shot like tracks, and then you see it. Oh shit, the front is white. It's all blood. Right?
So you don't need to see how it got that way. It's just, it's just really cool that they did that. Even if they could afford to show it to you, they didn't. And I respect that level of restraint, honestly.
Something I was also wondering was, well, this film was unfortunate. Well, I'm not sure if unfortunately, but it was not directed by John Krasinski.
That's true.
This was directed by Michael Sarnowski. And
who I have no idea of.
Well,
I really don't. I'm sorry.
Like, I don't, tell me if you know, but I don't know why it wasn't John Krasinski. Was it because it's a bigger scale and it's out of this, realm of expertise, or was it a schedule thing?
I think it might have been a schedule thing because I know that he's prepping the third Quiet Place movie, but he also directed the Imaginary Friend movie that came out a couple of months ago, I think, which really wasn't that good, I'm sorry to say.
I didn't watch it because Ryan Reynolds annoys me now. Anyway,
he's okay as Deadpool.
I guess it's quite different talaga, and besides the whole setting, I've just only seen those two movies that tell me how John Krasinski is as a director. So I would have wanted to see how he would attack things when things are of a bigger scale now. Because we know what happened to Jordan Peele. His first films were so simple and they were so effective. But when we did watch Get Out and it was such a huge scale, so much budget, we didn't like it as much. And I think we felt the same way here. But that's just me trying to question what if it was John Krasinski? How would he have done it?
Honestly, that would be an interesting question to answer. Like, how would John Krasinski do with Quiet Place Day One? It would be interesting to see how Krasinski would have attacked the material, because I know he still had a big hand in helping flesh out the story. This is essentially, a universe that he created. Yeah. So I'm sure he was there a lot of the time, or at least he was a guiding creative force behind it. But which brings up an interesting thing, because I want to know how they're going to do part 3. Because if you watch part 1 and 2, they're like those old Rocky movies where the ending of one movie flows directly into the beginning of the next one. Except in the case of A Quiet Place 1 and 2, you have to pretend that, the daughter didn't grow 3 inches in between one scene and the next.
True.
So, okay, fine.
The
suspension of
difficulties
disbelief.
child actors.
I know.
It's
I
very
know.
Stranger Things as well.
Kind of is.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know how they'll continue the story. Yeah, so I mean, we saw how it began. I don't think it showed us anything that we were necessarily wondering or thinking about, because all this stuff that's happening in New York is stuff we already assumed was happening all around the world, just based on the first one.
Yeah. So here's what I brought up earlier, that new piece of information that I didn't get. So Eric goes out for that medicine run, and he's on his way back with Frodo, but fucking Frodo just runs off to an area. And of course, obviously, Eric follows. It's like, oh no, the cat. But in my head, I'm like, just leave him alone. He can find his way back. He found his way back. Earlier. But anyway, he just goes after the cat.
The cat has plot armor.
Yes, he does. The cat finds this, I don't know if it's a nest or if it's a farm. It's a breeding ground of these aliens. I'm not even sure if like the things we saw breaking apart were hatching or there were little alien things there. But basically, they show us their breeding ground. And yeah, that is the new piece of information of how they feed and I guess how they multiplied. But what after that? Nothing. I thought they were going to get back to it, but
nothing comes of it.
Yeah, it's just like extra stress because Eric has to try to get Frodo, but nothing else after that. It's just like, oh, here is a nest.
I think it was just like they realized they were onto a good thing with the cat, so they wanted to maximize the cat. And also because, hey, it's been 10 minutes and we haven't been chased by anything yet. So let's put a scene here, let's just have an action scene to build tension before he gets the woman her opioids. So I don't know. I don't know what the point of that was, honestly. It wasn't like, sorry, I keep referencing it, but it wasn't like in Aliens where we discover that there's this whole other species of alien that's the fucking queen that's laying eggs, which raises the stakes. Here, it was just, okay, they're eating fruit?
It's just there. And that led me to think that, is there going to be a scene where they eventually destroy it? Or like, they there's something valuable out of it? But none, there was nothing. So I was like, okay, that's it.
So I got to ask you a question. Clearly, they're making Quiet Place 3.
Yep.
Would you watch another spin-off in this universe? Like, if it covered another aspect of it? I don't want to see another city. I don't want to see another countryside. Like, what if it's like, if they make it like military guys versus the aliens? I don't know.
Then that would just like open a whole box of like more spin-offs and possibilities of where this could be set.
What's wrong with that? I mean, it's a good concept. I don't
know. It could get old. And obviously, we already felt like we knew what was going to happen here and how things are going to turn out. So I don't want it stretched too far.
Fair.
But I would still like to see more work from John Krasinski. So I guess if he directs, I would go for it. Besides the fact that I have a huge crush on him. So
there you go. He literally did not direct or even appear in this movie, and yet he still made the thirst portion.
Yes.
Fine.
And so will Emily Blunt, might I say. What a beautiful couple.
I'll jump on that train. Okay. I shouldn't say train. People on the internet are terrible. Anyways, what was I going to say? Can I just... even if a lot of the movie is telegraphed early on, like that Lupita has this terminal disease, that she meets this young kid who has his whole life ahead of him, that these aliens are clearly going to win because this is only a prequel and we've seen what the world becomes in the next couple of years because of John Krasinski's original movies. I do appreciate when it came time to hit the emotional beats of Sam's story, Lupita nails it every time. So even if everything going on around her isn't the most original or in some parts suspenseful as they could be, she's always on point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I expect no less. It's Lupita.
Wakanda forever.
And might I also add something that Anjo said? We miss him very much, but he's like, Ang lupit ni Lupita. Ayun na. Mic drop!
I hope
That's
you're
it.
happy. I hope you're proud of yourself, Anjo, wherever the hell you are.
Yes. But yeah, we missed the opportunity to make that joke when we were talking to him about it. But here it is on the podcast. Yay!
Yes, it is.
All right.
So, would you recommend this movie?
Yes, but in the cinemas. Because if there's anything that I learned that watching the first one and something of this scale or of this concept where sound is so important, you really have to see it in a cinema with good speakers.
Absolutely.
So it's an experience. The darkness, everyone not breathing. It's more of that, I think, because obviously there will be moments nga naman na, it's just another action movie. It's another apocalyptic film. But it's still so much better in the cinema. So yes, I would recommend this, especially if you're invested in the Quiet Place universe. And if you just want to be stressed the fuck out, which is why you watch a good horror film, I guess. So it still served its purpose of stressing you out. So
For sure.
it's effective.
For sure. And nothing can beat that social experience of being scared senseless with a whole bunch of
Yep.
strangers in the dark,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I would recommend this movie, especially if you've seen the first two. Right off the bat, I'm still going to say that nothing beats the first one, just
Mhm,
for the mere
of
fact
course.
that we had no idea what it was about.
Mhm.
It just gets you.
Mhm.
I know a guy who swears by watching these kinds of movies in the dark with his headphones on
Mhm.
and, all the windows are closed, so he's just sitting in the dark, just him and a TV. But for me, it's not the same. You
It's
gotta
not.
see this with a crowd,
Mhm.
and you all have to have that holy shit moment followed by your catharsis and everybody being able to breathe at the same time.
Mhm. And you get to
And,
see which one of the people you're with ends up dying when they yelp during the jump scares, which is me. It is me. I will die. I did yelp at one of the jump scares.
So yeah, I think we agree. We recommend this one. Lupita's fantastic.
The cat is fantastic,
The cat is the best
which is
fucking
played
thing,
by
honestly.
two cats, Schnitzel and Nico. I
I
took
love
note.
that you know that. I love that you know that. What the actual hell? Wait, does that mean like they got two cats with identical markings, or they painted one of them to match the other?
Probably identical, but you know how it works. You know, when an animal's in a film, they can't just use one.
That's true. That's why they went through like 30 babes for that little pig
30
movie.
babes. Did he turn into bacon eventually?
No, seriously, like, they had to because like they're like full size in like 3 weeks.
I know,
They
but
had-
what do they
They
do
went
when
through
it
so many
dies?
piglets.
What did they do when it died?
Breakfast.
Exactly. That was my question. But anyway, yeah.
I
Good
don't
job.
know.
Good job, Schnitzel and Nico.
Babe number 7, report to catering. Thank you.
Oh my God. Anyway, let's.
Anyways.
Yeah. Good job, Schnitzel and Nico. And Lupita, obviously. Lupita and Nyong'o. All right. So, yeah, we're back at it, guys. Hopefully, we can do more episodes. But yes, this has been another episode of the Sub-Auteurs. And let us know on our socials if there are any movies you want us to talk about. Even if it's a throwback thing. Hell, we'd love to talk about movies from our childhood, which was probably like 20 to 30 years ago. But that aside, anything at all, feel free to let us know. Misha's making a face.
Just a little face.
But yes, we are on socials. We are on TikTok, Sub-Auteurs Podcast. We are on Instagram. You can find us as well on Facebook. We have a group called Sub-Auteurs We Like Movies, and we'd love for you guys to join and let us know what you thought about the episode as well. Yay. Ow. You know, I'm like, good thing the cat wasn't noisy.
That's what Nikki de Guzman, who was like 2 seats away, said. She's like, she's got a cat, and like her cat is never that freaking quiet. She would be dead in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah. So again, good job to the cat. But yes, that's it. We'll see you guys again in the next episode. This has been Mai.
I'm Misha.
Oh hell, we would have been dead like an hour ago.
Hey, you know where the aliens can go gambling?
Where?
fucking bad. I'm sorry.